Greetings and welcome for Caring for Seniors. I'm your host, Adrienne Houghton, and each week I sit down with the president of Oasis Senior Advisors Jacksonville, and that is Dave Stieglitz, and we talk all aspects of senior living, from elder care financial planning through to housing and everything in between. And one of the topics is insurance. And today we are lucky enough to have in the studio Mr. Bill Green from the Green Insurance Agency. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Good morning.
So let's jump straight in.
All right.
You're an independent Medicare agent.
Yes, ma'am.
What is that?
I help people navigate Medicare. When you go on, you're kind of bombarded with a ton of mail for some people a year straight,
Yes.
and they aren't sure what to do. If you call into Social Security or Medicare, all they'll tell you is you have to pick a prescription plan to go with it. They're not allowed to tell you which plan or even help you pick it.
Oh, that's really confusing.
Yeah.
How many companies are out there? How many do you represent?
There are 8 Medicare Advantage plans available in our area. I represent 7 of them.
Okay.
As far as Medicare supplements go, there are a ton. I represent about a dozen total.
Okay.
Crikey.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what's new in Medicare?
One of the biggest things, kind of started middle of last year, but really made big for this year, is insulin. So diabetics who require insulin. For years and years, if somebody was on it, about the beginning of the year, they'd pay about $50 a month. Midway through the year, they'd spend $150 a month for a box of insulin pens. Now, depending on the plan they're on, thanks to the Insulin Senior Savings Program, they're capped at $35 a month for a box of insulin.
That's
So
a big difference.
It
Wow.
is.
It is a huge difference.
Yeah.
I had people tell me that they were sharing insulin with their friends because they couldn't afford it.
So in fact, nobody was getting the correct dosage. They were just like
Yeah.
eking it out.
Those people who are in that
Oh.
situation, yeah.
Wow. Wow.
That's, I mean, it's got to be one of the problems with aging.
It is.
And so when you have people come to you and they say, I have no idea, do you actually have to basically sit down with them and say, explain to me your circumstances. What medications do you need? Do you need any medications? You know, and does that help you in guiding them through the melee, as it were?
It definitely does. And that's one of the first questions I ask is, what kind of medical conditions do you have? Who are your doctors? And what medications do you take?
Right.
Those 3 things guide which way we're going to go with Medicare. I'll still do a basic, this is what it is, how it works. And then from there, I'll always show both sides. You can pick whichever one you want, but I'll make a recommendation of, based on your health, your situation, this or this is probably a better fit.
Awesome. So you mentioned, with the companies you represent, so many Medicare Advantage plans, so many supplement plans.
Mm-hmm.
It still confuses me to this day. What should I be on a supplement plan? Should I be on an Advantage plan? There's also just straight Medicare.
Mm-hmm.
What are the differences and what drives, the best direction?
So there's no one cut and dry answer. Just
Of course
Of
not.
course not.
that's why there's options. Original Medicare is what you get. You have access to at age 65, or if you're disabled, or you have certain major medical issues like ALS or end-stage renal disease, you can go on early. As far as original Medicare, A and B, that is where you just get it automatically at 65 due to disability. And for some people who have Medicaid, depending on their situation, that may actually be a better fit for them. A Medicare Advantage plan, generally they have no additional premium. Some plans do charge, but you have copays. It's kind of like major medical insurance you've been used to. You pay a copay for essentially everything you do. Whereas a Medicare supplement, you do pay an additional premium, but then you have very little, if nothing, out of pocket. With the Medicare supplement, you have to purchase a separate prescription drug plan. With a Medicare Advantage, they're usually built in.
Yeah. Okay.
Already,
all right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
So actually today I'm doing an hour-long seminar on just that.
So you can't explain it to us in 30 seconds or less. No.
Okay, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a difference in premiums out there as well.
There are.
And how do you know? I mean, you say you have options,
Mm-hmm.
but how do you know what is the best option for you? Can you go through a year or half a year and say, this isn't working, I need to switch?
So that's one of those depends answers. So if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, you have 2 times the year where you can make a change. One is October 15th to December 7th, when someone on Medicare is just being bombarded with mail and phone calls and all over TV. You can't miss it. That's when most people make a change. Whereas also there's what's called the open enrollment period for Medicare. It's not advertised. We can't tell people about it. It's more of if somebody is on a plan and they're not happy with it and they find an agent, we can talk to them. They can change plans then. For a Medicare supplement, you can change that any month out of the year you want to. So if you are unhappy with your level of service or your premium, you can change that year round. As far as the difference in premiums, if you have a lettered plan, what's called a Medicare supplement, the schedule of benefits, what it has to cover, is set by the federal government. There's no difference in coverage from one to the other.
Oh, that's interesting.
So if you look at the swing in premiums, you can pay almost $100 more for one company versus another, and your level of coverage is the same.
Interesting.
So still confusing then.
I know.
Still confusing.
I know you've helped me a lot. I've had clients when I'm working on their budgets to help them afford senior housing and assisted living, and we go over their expenses. And I find, some are paying a couple $100 for their Medicare and their plans and stuff, and I come across some that are paying $800, $900, and you've been wonderful when I say, hey, you need to talk to my buddy Bill. And you'll do a review of their plan and say, well, yeah, this is really the best plan for you, or possibly find some options for them. But sometimes that $600, $800 plan is the best thing for them. Talk about that a little bit.
So the super high price plans, it could be that they don't qualify to change plans. To change a paid plan, you generally have to answer health questions. Unless you are on, say, a group retiree plan, or depending on how it works, if you move across county lines or especially across state lines, you may have an opportunity to change plans at that point.
Wow.
There are certain events that can take place in your life that make you eligible to change an Advantage plan without waiting for open enrollment, correct?
That is correct. The most common one we run into is someone who may not have a whole lot in the way of income and assets. If they qualify for any level of extra help, either through the federal government or the state, they can change their plan once every 3 months. If someone moves across county lines, that's a very common one. If someone is working past age 65, which is happening more and more, where people are continuing to work because they either have a spouse they need to cover or they want to maximize their Social Security, that allows them to enroll in any plan they want, coming off group coverage.
I'm still confused.
I know. So someone's coming and what are the questions people should be asking about their Medicare coverage and to get the best? What should people be looking for to know that they're in the right plan?
It's funny you say the word best. According to Medicare, I'm not allowed to say the word best.
Okay.
Which makes no sense. There's a lot of things I can't say. I can't say the word best. Can't say the word free when I'm talking about Medicare. As far
without charge?
That's exactly it. No cost, no charge. Okay. Things to look for is, are your doctors going to be in the network? Your medications covered? Are you going to travel? Would you rather pay a monthly premium and not have to worry about paying as you go? Or would you rather save that money monthly and pay as you go? And lastly, one thing to look at and consider is working with an agent, myself or any other agent. There is no cost to you. Whether you go direct to an insurance company or you go through someone like me, no premium difference. The difference is if you have an issue or a question, instead of you calling into an 800 number, you can call me, and that's what we do for you. That's part of the service.
And then you have a personal connection with the people,
Exactly.
and the advice is somebody you can trust as opposed to somebody on the end of the phone.
A local expert.
Yes, local expert. That's
I like
good.
that concept,
Yeah.
local experts.
That is nice.
Yes.
A lot of these supplemental plans have like renew rewards and encouragements and incentives for people. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So those are primarily built into the Medicare Advantage plans. They call them extra benefits. And it can be a gym membership. It can be dental. It can be glasses.
Dental's extra? I'm sorry.
Well, so
It's a speciality. I mean, it's like we all need teeth.
oh yeah, it depends on the plan. Medicare is a lot of it depends, and so dental, vision, gym memberships for the people who maybe have a lower income. Some of the plans this year actually give them a card every month for food.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's people who have a lower income and need that kind of help.
Mm-hmm.
On the supplemental side, there is one company that does offer a gym membership, but most of them don't.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that for somebody who's active probably would be something to guide them towards, because then they can
It certainly
keep
could.
fit for free.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, at no charge.
No charge.
You said free. I can't say.
Yeah. Okay. But that's the same thing, right?
Oh yeah. Yes.
And on average, the clients that come to you, do you find them totally confused, or they know where they want to go?
It's gotten.
Sorry, because I'm totally confused. That's what it's all about.
It's gotten where people are starting to do more of their own research.
Yeah.
I'd say it's about 50-50 still. So some people just know nothing and they want to be educated from the very beginning. Others have done a ton of research and know a plan or two they want to look at, or they've known enough where they have good questions.
Yeah. Gosh. And the 5 questions that seniors should be asking or should have prepared?
So that's the are my doctors in the plan?
Right.
Are my medicines covered?
Okay.
Going to travel. That's a big thing. If someone travels, depending on the plan they have, they may or may not have access outside of just emergency and ER care. With Medicare, almost any health insurance plan, if you're traveling, urgent care and emergency room is going to be covered at an in-network cost. And then again, as you're going on, talk to an agent. There's no cost for it, and almost everyone I talk to has found a value in something I've been able to add to them that they hadn't found on their own.
I'm sure there's going to be somebody out there that actually wants to talk to you. So how do they find you?
You can go to my website. It's greeninsagency.com, or you can call me at 904-717-1176.
Wonderful. Is there anything else that you'd like to let people know that we haven't covered?
So Medicare is the bulk of what I do. I also help folks with regular health insurance. So as of today, the healthcare marketplace is open, and it will be open through August 15th. There's been some adjustments to it where people are getting very low cost health insurance. I'd say almost half people I meet with are paying less than $50 a month for their health insurance.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
Yes.
It's getting there,
Yes.
slowly but surely.
Yes.
Well, it's a pleasure meeting you.
You too, thank you.
And thank you for coming in and talking to us. And I hope that we've helped a few seniors out there to understand what's going on in the insurance business.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And don't forget, if you need any more information at all, you can always find it on iwantabuzz.com.